When we think of Christmas, images of joy, laughter, and festive gatherings often come to mind. But Christmas wasn't always just about cheer. Hidden in the shadows of history lies a darker, fascinating tradition: the telling of ghost stories during the holiday season. These eerie tales, filled with mysterious apparitions and supernatural encounters, once held a special place in Christmas celebrations, serving as a way to reflect on life, death, and redemption. The roots of this tradition can be traced back to ancient pagan festivals like Yule and the winter solstice, long before Christmas as we know it came to be. These celebrations marked the darkest days of the year, a time when the veil between the living and the dead was believed to be at its thinnest. Stories of spirits roaming the earth were not uncommon, and they carried a dual purpose: to entertain and to teach lessons about morality, community, and the mysteries of the afterlife. As Christianity spread across Europe, many of these pagan customs were absorbed into Christmas traditions. By the Middle Ages, the holiday season was not just a time for feasting and festivities but also a period for deep reflection. Families would gather around the fire on cold winter nights, sharing tales of spectral visitors, unfulfilled destinies, and ghostly warnings. These stories were often cautionary, urging listeners to be virtuous and generous, especially during a season that celebrated goodwill and forgiveness. One of the most famous examples of ghost stories becoming a part of Christmas tradition is found in Victorian England, an era often associated with a revival of festive customs. During this time, storytelling became a cherished holiday activity, and tales of ghosts were among the most popular. Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol, first published in 1843, is perhaps the most enduring example of this blend of Christmas cheer and ghostly chills. The story of Ebenezer Scrooge, haunted by the spirits of Christmas past, present, and future, captured the Victorian imagination, highlighting themes of redemption and the consequences of one's actions. Why were ghost stories so fitting for Christmas? The season's reflective nature may hold the answer. As the year drew to a close and families gathered to celebrate, it was a time to look back on the past, remember those who had passed on, and consider the lessons they left behind. The cold, dark nights of winter only added to the atmosphere, making tales of the supernatural all the more compelling. The Victorian era wasn't just a time of ghostly storytelling. It was the golden age of Christmas as we know it today. Alongside traditions like decorating Christmas trees and exchanging gifts, sharing chilling tales of spectral visitors became a beloved pastime. It was during this period that the custom of telling ghost stories on Christmas Eve truly flourished, with families gathering around the fireplace to recount eerie tales passed down through generations. One of the reasons ghost stories thrived during Victorian Christmases was the era's fascination with the supernatural. Spiritualism, the belief in communication with the dead, was at its peak, and seances and ghostly phenomena captured the public's imagination. Magazines and periodicals of the time, such as Household Words, edited by Charles Dickens himself, frequently published seasonal ghost stories, blending the festive and the macabre. But it wasn't just professional writers who contributed to this tradition. Ordinary people would share their own accounts of unexplainable events, weaving local legends and family mysteries into their Christmas gatherings. These stories often served as moral lessons, warning listeners about the consequences of greed, selfishness, or neglecting the less fortunate. In this way, the ghostly tales echoed the spirit of the season, encouraging reflection and generosity. One particularly famous Victorian ghost story, aside from A Christmas Carol, is The Signalman by Charles Dickens. This haunting tale, set near a railway signal box, tells the story of a man haunted by visions of a spectral figure foretelling tragedy. Published in 1866, the story captures the eerie mood of the holiday season while offering a commentary on isolation and fate. Like many Christmas ghost stories, it uses supernatural elements to explore deeply human themes, making it both chilling and thought-provoking. Interestingly, the tradition of ghost stories during Christmas wasn't confined to England. In Scotland, tales of the Yuletide Wraith were common, describing a ghostly figure said to appear to those who had committed wrongdoings during the year. In Germany, the legend of Knecht Ruprecht told of a ghostly companion of Saint Nicholas who would punish misbehaving children. These tales, though tied to local folklore, shared a common thread of using the supernatural to enforce moral behavior, aligning them with the reflective nature of Christmas. Even as the 20th century approached and Christmas traditions shifted toward more commercial and cheerful celebrations, the appeal of ghost stories endured. Popular radio programs and holiday anthologies continued to feature chilling tales, keeping the tradition alive for a new generation. For many, these stories became a way to balance the sweetness of the season with a touch of mystery, reminding listeners that Christmas is not just about joy but also about reflection, redemption, and the unknown. As the tradition of Christmas ghost stories spread, certain tales became deeply rooted in local folklore, gaining a life of their own. In England's rural villages, stories of phantom carolers were popular. According to legend, on particularly snowy Christmas Eves, ghostly figures dressed in old-fashioned attire would appear, singing hauntingly beautiful carols. Those who listened closely claimed the songs carried messages, warnings, or blessings for the coming year. Some villagers believed these spectral singers were the spirits of those who had passed away during the holiday season, returning to bring a mix of comfort and unease. In parts of Scandinavia, the legend of the Julenis, a mischievous yet protective Christmas spirit, blurred the line between friendly folklore and ghostly encounters. Families would leave out offerings of food to appease the Julenis, believing that neglecting this tradition could lead to strange happenings or even misfortune. Stories of the Julenis hiding household items, causing unexplained noises, or rearranging decorations added a playful yet eerie twist to holiday celebrations. One of the most chilling stories tied to Christmas comes from Eastern Europe: the tale of the Christmas train ghost. This spectral locomotive was said to appear on the tracks during the coldest nights of December, its whistle piercing the silence of the winter air. Witnesses described it as a glowing, translucent train, with passengers who seemed lost in time. Some believed the ghostly train carried souls unable to move on, forever traveling during the Christmas season in search of closure or redemption. As Christmas traditions continued to evolve, these ghostly tales found their way into literature, inspiring new stories that combine the supernatural with the holiday spirit. One notable example is Zamar James's "Oh, Whistle, and I'll Come to You, My Lad," a classic ghost story often associated with the Christmas season. Although not explicitly about Christmas, its chilling atmosphere and themes of isolation and the unknown resonated with the reflective nature of the holidays. James, a master of ghostly fiction, would often share his eerie tales during Christmas gatherings, further cementing the connection between the season and the supernatural. Interestingly, the decline of ghost stories as a mainstream Christmas tradition can be linked to the commercialization of the holiday in the 20th century. As Christmas became more centered on shopping, decorations, and cheerful family gatherings, the darker, more reflective aspects of the holiday were gradually sidelined. However, echoes of this tradition still persist in modern culture. Movies like The Nightmare Before Christmas and Krampus blend festive themes with eerie undertones, paying homage to the ghostly roots of the season. The resurgence of interest in the paranormal has also revived the idea of Christmas ghost stories. podcasts, streaming platforms, and online communities dedicated to spooky tales often feature seasonal episodes exploring haunted holiday traditions. For those who enjoy a touch of the macabre, these stories are a reminder that Christmas isn't just about joy. It's also a time to confront the mysteries that linger in the shadows of winter nights. As we conclude this journey into the forgotten tradition of Christmas ghost stories, it's clear that these tales were more than mere entertainment. They were a reflection of the season's deeper themes: connection, reflection, and the mysteries of life and death. Whether shared around a roaring fire or whispered in the stillness of a snowy night, these stories reminded listeners of the fragility of life and the enduring power of redemption. Today, while the tradition of ghost stories at Christmas may not be as prevalent, its spirit endures in modern storytelling. From the timeless lesson of Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol to contemporary holiday films and even urban legends, the echoes of these tales continue to captivate audiences. They remind us that the magic of Christmas lies not only in its joy but also in its capacity to inspire introspection and hope. For those looking to recapture the enchantment of this season, consider exploring Rediscover the Christmas Spirit, the magic, the essence, and the inner child. This ebook is filled with inspiring ideas, heartwarming activities, and reflections to help you embrace the wonder and mystery of Christmas. Whether you're sharing stories with loved ones or creating new traditions, this guide is the perfect companion for a season filled with meaning and magic. As you gather with family and friends this Christmas, perhaps you'll be inspired to share a tale of your own, a story of mystery, reflection, or transformation. After all, the tradition of ghost stories at Christmas isn't just about the supernatural. It's about the human experience, our shared memories, and the lessons we carry forward into the new year. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of forgotten Christmas traditions. If you enjoyed this journey, be sure to check out our other videos for more festive and fascinating tales. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for your daily dose of holiday magic. Until next time, Merry Christmas, and may your season be filled with wonder, warmth, and just a hint of mystery.